Good morning, children. Welcome to Tuesday and welcome to your English lesson for today. Now today we're going to be focusing on a grammar element and in particular the use of formal and informal language. Now this is something we've looked at before, but it's really good to be recapping this in particular because your next piece of writing is going to be writing a newspaper article, and we would be expecting to see examples of formal and informal language. And we'll just go through what the differences are before just thinking about, well, when would you see that in a newspaper article? So it says formal language is used for more official and serious purposes, and it says the correct grammar should always be used. On the other hand, informal language is situations and informal writing. A more relaxed, casual and chatty style can be used. Slang words and abbreviations are more acceptable. Now, I did ask a question a little while ago about, well, when would you expect to see formal and informal language within a newspaper article? So just have a think to yourself, pause the video, and then we'll have a discussion about it then. Right, so the majority of the newspaper article was actually written formally because that's just the style that they should be written in. I'm wondering if you identified maybe when informal language is used. Now, well done if you did. Now, you would expect to see some informal language, maybe when you're using a statement, an eyewitness account from someone who witnessed the particular event. So if we think about the newspaper article we're looking at, or have been and will be to do with volcanoes, the news reporter may get an eyewitness account of some person witnessing the event itself and speaking to the newspaper reporter about what they saw. And you would expect that person to just speak normally as they would on a day-to-day basis. And normally that is in an informal approach. There's different points here to do with formal and informal language styles. So I'm just wondering if you could have a look at those 9 and identify whether they are formal or informal. Again, pause the video, have a think to yourself, and then on the next page, we'll have a look to see if you identify them correctly. So pause the video and see you in a second. Right, welcome back, children. Were you able to identify the language features here? So the formal language features uses specific vocabulary for the subject, uses the correct grammar and punctuation, has a more serious tone, and often uses complex sentence structures. And in informal characteristics would be using more contractions and abbreviations such as hasn't, a contracted word, it's, or maybe TV instead of television. Informal writing is clear and to the point, and it also has a more chatty tone, like you would be speaking to your friends. Sometimes it uses cliches, such as it's raining cats and dogs. And sometimes, if we think about maybe if you email someone or text someone, you may use text-style words such as LOL. So well done if you were able to identify that. Another task for you again. It says that formal and informal language are more suited to different situations. Can you sort the following situations into the correct place in the table according to which style of language would be more suitable? So again, these 9 situations, where would you put them? Would you put them as formal language or informal language? So again, pause the video, just have a think, where would you place those? And we'll have a look at the answers. See you in a second. Right, well done for having a go. Let's have a look then. So when will we expect to see these? Well, formal language, maybe presenting an award, writing a letter of complaint, or applying for a job maybe, writing a report, talking to a head teacher. And on the flip side of that, informal language is talking on the phone to your gran, writing an email to a cousin, sending a text to a friend, writing a personal diary, or just talking to your friends on a day-to-day basis. So well done if you managed to get those ones right. Let's have a look at the vocabulary. It says some vocabulary is more formal, whereas others is more informal in tone. Can you match these formal and informal words with the same meanings the synonyms. And if we think about yesterday's reading, was all to do with vocabulary within context and synonyms of words. So can you match up, for instance, what's the informal word for profession? Pause the video and I will show you answers on the next slide. Welcome back, children. Let's see how you get on then. Okay, so those are the formal words and the synonym as a more informal word. So for example, a profession, so maybe a teaching profession, you may say teaching job, okay, but job is less formal. Okay, let's have a look at the next slide then. It says your turn. Can you write a sentence using a formal alternative of the word given? So for instance, live in. Right, could you write a sentence using a more formal word of live in? And this is just for you to have a go at trying to identify using more formal words. So pause the video, have a go. You may want to just do one, you may want to have a go at more. Please feel free. Welcome back, well done. I'm sure that you did a really good job. So we're going to have a look at now if you can identify within particular texts whether they are written formally or informally. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video again, read each of those and identify which one is formal and which one is informal. And can you identify why you have decided that those are the case? So pause the video, watch it, decide which one is formal and which one is informal, and then try to identify why you have suggested that. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you identified that the one on the left-hand side was the formally written one, and the one on the right was written informally. And hopefully you are able to identify those. Well done if you did. And these are just a few slides that you can just go through as you re-go through the actual PDF file itself. So another task for you is to change these sentences to informal to formal language. So they're written informally at the moment. Can you rewrite it so it's more formal? Pause the video and then I'll give you some examples of how they could be written more formally. Right, I'm sure you had a really good go at those. So this is just how I've written them more formally. Now, hopefully you've got something similar to it. You're not going to have it word for word. I wouldn't expect that. But hopefully you may have used some of those words that I've used or other synonyms which are similar to those words that you have used. I'm sure that you've given it a really good go. Okay, so that is the lesson for today. There is also a task for you to do. And if we have a look on it, on the daily planner, it's the PDF which says formal, informal language worksheet. So what I'd like you to do is have a go at the tasks on there, and it's all associated with what we have discussed this morning. So have a really good go. It's going to be really beneficial when you start writing up your newspaper articles about Whakaari Island. So best of luck, children. Enjoy your lesson today, and I will see you for tomorrow's English lesson.